special meeting to order. Please remove your hat if you have one on, and please stand for the rise for this pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Patterson?
Here.
Ms. Beaupre?
Here.
Ms. Hefner?
Here.
Mr. Richmond?
Here.
Mr. Engard?
Here.
Mr. Bozak?
Here.
Mr. Sweat?
Here.
Approval of the regular council meeting minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the regular council meeting January 13th, 2026?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Vote when ready, please.
Ms. Beaupre?
Yes.
Ms. Hefner?
Yes.
Mr. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Engard?
Yes.
Mr. Bozak?
Yes.
Mr. Sweat?
Yes.
Please keep in mind, this is a special meeting, but we have to keep it to exactly what's on the agenda. Moving on, new legislation. Resolution number 04-2, 2026, a resolution clarifying the vacation leave under section 5.03 of the village personnel policy and procedure manuals applies only to full-time employees and formally discontinuing vacation accrual for part-time employees. Moving on, ordinance number 2026-04, an ordinance approving supplemental appropriations and modifications for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026, and to declare an emergency.
Is there a time frame?
What's the emergency?
Yeah, what's the emergency?
The request from the last meeting was to have this appropriations made emergency so they could be the funds for the festival, North Baltimore 150, America 250 festival, the funds to be available to basically pay down payments to vendors.
Okay.
Is there not enough time from, so if this goes into effect, if this gets approved today, 30 days and go into effect March 13th, when's the festival? When's the proposed party?
June 27th.
June 27th. So
We need to secure our vendors, and if we wait until March, when we can do that, we will lose the vendors, because there's a lot of festivals going on, and so these vendors are filling up very quickly, and us getting a late start is not in our favor.
the ordinance has been read.
Do we have a motion? Did you?
This is just to appropriate funds. So,
Correct.
Yes.
I'll make the motion for an emergency on that.
Oh, you got, please.
I'm sorry.
No, you're all right. Please, we have to make the motion to suspend the second and third reading.
I'm sorry.
That's what, you're all right.
So I will make the motion to suspend the second and third reading.
There is,
I'll second that.
there's a motion on the floor to suspend the second and third readings for ordinance that number 2026-04. There is a second. Vote when ready, please.
Ms. Hefner?
Yes.
Mr. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Engard?
Yes.
Mr. Bozak?
Yes.
Mr. Sweat?
Yes.
Ms. Beaupre?
yes. So then I make a motion to
Adopt as an emergency, please.
declare it an emergency.
There's a motion on the floor to adopt as an emergency. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
There is a second. Any discussion? Any further discussion? Vote when ready, please.
Mr. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Engard?
Yes.
Mr. Bozak?
Yes.
Mr. Sweat?
Yes.
Ms. Beaupre?
Yes.
Ms. Hefner?
Yes.
Moving on to second readings. Ordinance number 2026-03, an ordinance repealing existing chapter 709 of the codified ordinances of the Village of North Baltimore and enacting a new chapter 709. Was there any other number that needs to go with that or not?
No.
Must not be okay.
No, it's no change.
Entitled Peddlers and Solicitors. Moving on to third reading. Resolution number 02-2026, a resolution adopting the Village of North Baltimore event policy and approving the all events permit application. Is there a motion to adopt? how would this body want to move forward? You can adopt it, and it has its 30 days, or you guys can declare it as an emergency, and possibly have it challenged.
I would like to do an emergency simply because, again, we need to secure our vendors and for June. And if we wait until the 30 days to, or do the 3 readings even, and wait for 30 days, we're going to be then into April, and we will not be able to secure our vendors.
I respectfully disagree with that. Here's what if this was under the 30-day clause, you would still be operating under the original events policy. So you would just have to fill that out. Because we currently have an events policy approval, yes, that you could operate under the existing until the 30-day clause. So it wouldn't prevent you from proceeding. You would just proceed under this one for now until that one went into effect.
Okay. May I ask why you would challenge it as far as what are in the paperwork that you've
In my
done?
opinion, it's not a true and real emergency. I mean, we've gotten in a very...
Was DORA a true emergency? Because we passed that as an emergency.
I don't know I would say, the timelines with the festival.
Right, and that's the
Yeah.
same thing we're up against, the timeline with the festival.
No,
The thing is when we send our
Right.
contracts out, we can't specify things that are in here that we've updated and relate to, I don't know that we can do that.
How does this prevent us from doing that?
Well, all the information's not in there that's in here, because we added we added certain things to it. All safety and things to protect the village. One was covering electrical lines, or cords that going across so it wouldn't be a trip hazard. 2, making sure that everyone has insurance and names North Baltimore as additionally insured. And then, I'm trying to think of the other one else. Tripping hazard, that.
I have a copy
And the
to
food
the right
vendors.
there.
Yeah, no, I've got it here. And the food vendors, to make sure they have their licensing and also name us as additional insured. So those are the only things we added to the event policies that protect our village. So I'm wondering what it is that you would challenge. Or what anyone
That
would
it's a
challenge.
real emergency, that's what I'm challenging. I don't believe
The only
that it's a
reason
true
it's
and
an
real emergency.
emergency is so that we can secure our vendors
So,
for June 27th.
I would say that we need a true and real emergency defined then. We need the definition of a true and real emergency.
For the safety of North Baltimore.
Okay.
That's what it's, all those things were put in there for the safety of the citizens and their taxpaying money
So-
for North Baltimore.
And I would disagree and say this would cover that. It has in the past. This events policy covers exactly what you're trying to do. It's worked in the past. It was not broke. And now we're trying to fix something, in my opinion, that's not broke. And you guys this body has the right to do that. What I'm simply saying is, there's no reason why, if it's not broke, in my opinion, this will work for your events.
Does that state that those 3 things?
I don't believe so, Dee, but that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, this sufficed for every event that we've had in the past and took care of it. So that's what I'm saying. I
But
don't
it
believe.
didn't, because in September,
Sure.
we wouldn't have had insurance. Because it wasn't in there, and
We did
the
have
organ-
insurance.
You did, because 10 days before I questioned it, and we didn't have insurance coverage until the day before. Josh and I worked 10 days to get that insurance for the festival, or you wouldn't have been covered.
So the village, so when we talk to PEP, the liability, the $115,000 that we paid to PEP does not cover festivals. Is that what I'm understanding? Because that's the question that I have.
Not the additional rider that you had to sign.
I mean, they did charge us the additional
I understand.
cost.
I understand what they
So-
did, and I believe that we was taking advantage of it.
That
In my opinion, and that's what I'm-
existence would mean, the answer would be no, because of the existence of that additional charge.
Does
And this-
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, I thought you was done.
No, I am done.
So does Finley have to name?
I don't read their
That's fine,
policies, so I
that's
don't
fine.
know, but I have
Sure.
participated in many festivals,
Yeah.
and they all require that they carry insurance, and that city
Yes.
or village is named as additionally insured.
Yeah, I don't disagree with everybody carrying liability by all, that is absolutely paramount, there's no question there.
But
What I'm saying,
What the statement was you said that wasn't broken, and it
I don't
covers
think that it
everything.
is.
But,
Because,
but we didn't have insurance, we wouldn't have had insurance.
why I say it's not broken, Dee, is because by not naming the village as on somebody's insurance does not fully put the village of North Baltimore in their liability.
Right, it's another layer of protection.
Yeah.
And our
yeah.
insurance has required that to be done.
Only for North Baltimore. Well, I can't say only for North Baltimore, because that's an inconsistent practice that they use.
What, to name everyone is
Yes.
it's not, it's consistent.
The
Reach out to
must be
other-
required.
I did this for 13 years.
I get it.
Every time,
So-
I had to put on there that whatever town, village, city I was in, I had to name them as additionally insured and supply that certificate.
Yep.
So that it's consistent.
As a vendor.
As a vendor,
Yeah.
and they carried their insurance as well.
Yeah.
So whoever was handling the event carried their insurance and named that town as additionally insured as well.
And what he's saying is, we were covered as a village.
No,
Yes.
not through our insurance.
Not
We
through
were not,
PAP?
I've got the emails that said from our insurance company, we were not covered until 3:30 on Friday, the day before the.
The year before, through Chase showed me, and we talked to somebody on the phone. Chase asked, are we covered for the insurance? And they said yes. He said, is there any additional coverage? No. They said no. I've got the pamphlet in there that says that the village of North Baltimore has no additional coverage for events. Now, that was from 2015. It's been updated since then, right? So, and that wasn't, so, but I get all this, Dee. What I'm saying is it's not in my opinion, it's not a real emergency.
In the emails from the insurance company, it went to underwriting, and underwriting said
What-
you would not be covered.
What I'm saying is that 30 days to wait is not. I'm not saying that whether they name the village or not is not. They can do that after the 30 days. You know what I'm saying? After the 30 days, you can still require them to do so.
After we sign a contract, then we can put more stipulations on them? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. If we contract with them, we have to have our rules laid out with them ahead of time, before parties sign. You can't then start adding other regulations to it. And if we wait until April to do this.
Yeah, the vendor piece is never going to change. We're always going to require for any festival that we have that a vendor names us additionally insured.
Absolutely.
So that's what we're talking about, right? That's never going to change.
I think that's always been the rule, right?
I don't know.
Is that
in
always
the-
been-
It's not
their
in the
That's not
policy.
in the original policy. And whoever's throwing the event is not in the original policy to have insurance. And that's where we need that. But right now, what the concern is we've got to sign contracts with our vendors. And we can't add to that contract after the fact. If we wait till April, we might as well not have this festival, because we will not.
Yeah, we don't want
get-
that.
We
No, we
won't be
don't
able
want
to
that.
get our vendors.
So I'm going to make
We're
a
already on
motion
time
to
crunch.
pass this as an emergency. We don't have, this is the third reading, so we don't have to suspend anything, right?
Correct.
That's correct.
Okay, I'll make the motion,
We
resolution.
can't do that because we didn't even adopt it. Did we?
Yeah, there needs to be a motion to adopt.
Oh, okay, a motion to adopt.
As an emergency is what
As-
you're suggesting.
All in one, gotcha. Resolution 02-2026. Resolution to adopt and, as emergency.
There's a motion on the floor to pass resolution number 02.
Yeah, I think there needs to be two different votes. To adopt. One
No,
and to
no, you
adopt
don't.
and
No, you don't. Only to suspend the rules. No, you do not. It's,
See, I still don't like language in here. I mean,
No,
the whole,
Please tell me your concern with what.
my concern is the 50, right here, that anything that exceeds 50 persons at one time needs to have the
Right.
2 million. Unless, somebody says that they can waive it. I just, that's not consistent for one, if I have a birthday party down at the, birthday party or a graduation down at the shelter house, I need to have $2 million.
No,
No.
That's
That
on
can be waived,
property.
that can
Okay,
be waived
so
by council.
You like me, but you don't like the other person in the other shelter house who's doing the same thing. I mean, there's no consistent.
You're not
You can
selling-
waive
Running a
it.
shelter house is not a.
Yeah.
That is,
You're not selling anything, you're not,
No,
if you
and
read the
it's-
rest of it.
It's only
I've
for
read it
closing
all.
down the
Yeah.
park.
Yeah.
What's that?
It was only, I think it states in there that only if you're closing down the park.
But, so,
no,
so your concern, Mr. Engard, is there's some, well, hold on, there's a motion, I'm sorry, there's a motion to adopt as an emergency. Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Okay, now, there's a motion and a second. Up for discussion. I've got some, first of all, I've got some concerns with, there was a meeting that was held in which this question came up about the liability. If somebody has an event on their property, are they required to carry the $2 million?
Their property
Why?
or village property?
On their property where they're using village property.
No.
So the question was asked out here by Mrs. Cotterman.
Okay, can Josh answer that, because he
Yeah.
took this up and.
Yeah, I know exactly what
Yes.
happened, yes.
Yes, so if the event is on the property and nothing has to do with the village, they can be, it's an administrative waiver we can,
That's exactly
and or
what.
I can sign off on that.
That's exactly what
Good.
Mr. Ingard's concern is. So we're gonna pick and choose on who this applies to, correct? So if,
No, I think it's just
That's-
oversight to make sure that, yeah, it's all, you know, it's on the property and it's just under 50. It's not that we're.
It's pretty clear. There's
It's not
pretty-
that
there's
we're being
criteria.
discriminatory here or anything
so,
like that.
so who has to pay? Who has to pay for the $2 million liability at each cost? Give me a for instance, anybody.
If the Boy Scouts wanted to have an activity out here, you know, a festival where 500 people are gonna come in, they're gonna need that liability insurance. If another entity in town, one of our businesses or something, wants to hold a function, and we agree to, you know, close the streets down and stuff, and they're gonna have, it's a public event, and there's gonna be over 100 people there, then they
50.
need liability insurance.
I'm sorry?
All of that is to protect
50.
the citizens and the taxpayers' money, because if we get sued, they're gonna come after everyone.
Agreed.
But if they're not named, if we're not named additionally insured on these policies, or they don't have insurance, they're gonna come fully after us, and we're gonna be paying out
Ms. Helpner?
to settle the lawsuit.
I don't think that the council is gonna allow anybody to have a festival or anything without showing proof of insurance. Am I right in saying that? That's what we're saying. Am I,
Right, that's
I'm
what's
asking
in
you,
here.
yep.
That's
So,
what's in here.
so how does that, if everybody has liability coverage already, the village?
The village
But
has
say
to have an
what-
extra rider.
I'm
It's
just-
not covered under our current insurance just to go out and have a festival.
Okay.
We went through this in September.
Yeah, so if the village, I get that. The village isn't putting it on. The village already has liability. They pay $115,000.
Okay.
The Boy Scouts come up and ask for it, they've got liability insurance. Any vendors that they bring in has liability insurance. Anything that they
We
do
don't
as far
know
as.
that unless
I
you
know,
verify.
yep,
I mean, we
it's gonna
could
get.
take the word of it, and we could end up being on the hook if something happened.
Yep, and if it's verified, right? I don't disagree with verifying,
And
verification.
so what do you disagree with?
Happy
Amy?
to name happy to name the village, it's
As
not a state
additional
law.
insurance?
Yes, I have
Our
some
insurance company and our attorney recommended it.
I agree.
Said that
I heard
that's an
them.
extra layer of protection. Why wouldn't you want that? I
How is it
don't
an extra,
understand.
because my concern is if everybody already has liability insurance, what is the extra? Tell me how does that
If
extra?
we're not
layer-
named as an additionally insured,
It
it
doesn't
doesn't mean
have that.
anything.
They can just-
We have to, in my private life outside of here, any contractor that works for my company has to provide a COI naming my company as additionally insured to be verified to work on that property.
For what purpose is what I'm
Please
asking.
understand, it doesn't
Well, then,
cost
because
anything.
their insurance coverage is, if they don't provide us with a COI that says the Village of North Baltimore is an additionally insured, then if something happens where there's a lawsuit or something, we have no proof that they have named us additionally insured. Their liability insurance means nothing.
No,
They will sue us, not the vendor.
I get that, so,
Can I give you an example?
yeah, please.
And understand, it doesn't cost to name anybody additionally insured.
I believe it does, there is a cost to it, so.
Did it for 13 years.
Okay, I
And
respect
it
that.
does not. And I just want to say also, every vendor that I've spoken to
Sure,
has no problem putting us on as additional insured, because it doesn't cost anything. They
Sure.
call their insurance company, ask to be added, and that certificate is emailed to us. So for instance, if there's an entity putting on a festival here, and they all have insurance,
sure.
but they didn't name us as additionally insured.
Yes.
Someone goes up to a food truck and they get food poisoning.
Sure.
And in the worst case scenario, they get so sick they die. They go to the hospital and they die.
Okay.
Who do you think they're coming after? They are coming after North Baltimore.
Agreed. I don't
And
disagree
all
with
those
that.
other insurance companies can be off the hook because they didn't name us as additionally insured.
So so when I asked that question in this room to our representative, right, I said, so what happened, right? There's gonna be an investigation. If something like that happens, the insurance isn't just going to pay it out, they're gonna investigate
Right,
what
but here's the
happened.
thing, if we're additionally insured, first they're gonna go after, if we're named.
Yeah,
on
they're gonna
policy,
get the
they're gonna
first
go
$2
after
million
the-
from the vendor's insurance company before
Right,
we
and then
would
they're gonna go after, wait a minute, they're
Yeah.
gonna go after the person that
Yeah.
caused the food vendor.
Sure.
Then they're gonna go after the entity that
Sure.
had, and then they're coming after North Baltimore.
Yep.
That's 2 layers of protection before they get to us.
My concern with that whole naming, what if it is the Village of North Baltimore's fault? What if something happens that something happens during an event or during?
So they aren't gonna go after the food vendor because they weren't involved.
I agree, so, I'm not
what do
even
you-
talking,
what do
so
you
what if
say?
I'm walking down the street during a festival,
Mhm.
and I get hurt because the Village of North Baltimore has a piece of sidewalk missing? So we automatically get to go back on the events?
No,
No,
that would be,
they
because
would-
that's a structural dysfunction in our,
That's-
it could happen Monday through Friday, or Monday through
Yeah,
Sunday here.
I agree with that,
Right.
that's not, so if that could happen, right? Who makes the determination on whether that's the festival's fault or the village's fault? Who makes that determination?
Well, the
'Cause I'm
legal
gonna-
system's gonna do that. I mean, they know they
Yep.
can,
Yep.
they're gonna, but without that layer of protection,
That's-
Mayor, we are opening ourselves to, if there was ever a lawsuit, and I pray there isn't, but if there ever was, we will take the full brunt of it. And that's not protecting our citizens.
In my
And-
opinion.
and the money they have
Yeah,
paid.
In my opinion, and I couldn't get an answer from did you guys hear, from our insurance agent that was here, he put me in touch with Wendy French, who was supposed to get me those answers. I get that, so if something happens, right, and you're saying, how does it, if Aaron walks down the street during a festival and falls and gets hurt,
It's no different than if you walk down the street Monday through Sunday
right.
and got hurt. The festival didn't cause that.
I
Our
agree.
sidewalks
Yeah,
caused
I
it.
agree, so how does it, where's the extra layer of protection is what I'm not understanding? If everybody is
I just
covered with
explained
life.
Aaron, if you have a kid that's in a
I'm not-
bouncy house
I'm not-
as a
Bouncy house, that's another
vendor,
one.
falls and
Yep.
breaks their leg,
Yep,
they're going to sue the bouncy house
Yep, and-
contractor first.
Right, and so they would put us on as additionally
and
insured.
they should, and they should.
Right, and that's
And
why it's in
That's what
here.
we're doing.
That's what we're doing. I don't understand what the
I don't
problem
either.
is with adding this. I just don't understand. Why we wouldn't want to.
Why we would want to open ourselves to more liability. I
Yeah.
don't understand.
Why would we want to put that liability back on the business is what my concern
Because
is.
it's their structure.
It's their responsibility.
Hold on,
And
guys.
the
Hold
thing
on.
is, Aaron, they have no problem putting us on there.
Well, evidently, some of the businesses had some concerns in the Village of North Baltimore after we met with them, right?
Every vendor I've talked to so far
I'm talking
has
about.
not had a problem
I'm
with
talking
it.
about, and I appreciate that, I'm talking about the businesses downtown that are here, had some concerns with having to name the village as an additional
For an
insurance in
event
order
policy
to,
be-
in order to.
To have their event or to participate in the festival?
even right now, the door is in effect right now.
Well, the door
Right now.
isn't on the table. That door has already been passed, and that's already.
It's part of the, like, yeah, no, I'm not talking, I'm talking about liability.
So am I.
The
But
liability.
we already passed the Dora. I don't understand.
It's not liability about the door, it's liability of somebody doing business in the village of North Baltimore.
I'm so confused.
What, can I, so how does the Eagles naming the village of North Baltimore on their insurance?
Oh, when
help-
they're using the Dora? Now you want to talk about the Dora?
No.
Because we can't.
Yeah.
We can't talk about the
Yeah, we
Dora.
can't
I know,
talk
no,
about
no,
the
no, I'm talking about today, I'm talking about any day. So right now, we're talking about liability insurance fee. How,
We are talking about liability insurance.
In
when we
relation
hold
to
an
an event policy.
When we hold an event. And when you hold an event, you're creating a lot of other entities out in the middle of the street that are selling their wares and tears and
I get
their
it.
food,
Yep.
or
Yep.
having bounce houses, or
Yep.
pony rides, or train rides. All those people need to have insurance, and they need to name us as additionally insured as a layer of protection so that we're not,
I'm sorry.
if a child falls out of that train and the darn train runs over them, then if they don't have insurance or they haven't named us, they're coming after us.
Here's
And I
where
don't
I'm
believe
concerned.
any citizen
Yep.
would say, yep, we
No,
can take
I
the full
agree with
brunt
that.
of this lawsuit.
Here's where I'm concerned. How does naming this village, how does naming the village give us here's where I'm confused. Help me to understand this. How does naming the village give us an extra layer of protection if the insurer, if their liability insurance already gives us that protection? That's what
It
I'm
doesn't
confused.
It
unless they
doesn't
name
if
us.
they don't name us.
They have to
name us.
provide a COI that we have on file that says the village is additionally insured. If not, it means absolutely nothing. They can have all the insurance in the world, but if they're going to do something on our property, they have to list us as additionally insured, or it doesn't mean a thing.
Right.
Okay.
If we don't ask for that proof.
There's what I don't understand, okay? Because I've asked that question to our insurance company. And
I
nobody
don't
gave
know
me
how
a
to
good.
explain it to you any more simpler,
And
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. No, yeah, so, and I can tell you that Upper Sandusky does not require any of their business to name,
For
the
festivals?
village, for anything.
For
any-
festivals?
For
For
any-
festivals?
for-
Yeah, we can only talk festivals.
For
For
festivals,
festivals.
yeah, they do, we're
Okay,
talking about
I'll be honest
liability.
with you, I don't care what other,
I know, but I'm
other
saying-
villages or cities or
Well, you said that
what
our-
they do. We are here to discuss this,
I appreciate that.
our village and
Yeah.
how we want to protect it.
And what I'm trying to say is PEP also represents them, is their carrier. So where you're saying that they do it consistently across the board, that's not true. You guys can
I
pass
can
it.
show you the emails from our insurance
I
company.
appreciate that. I get it, Dee.
That says,
Yeah.
get them to put us on as additionally insured.
And I'm
It's
saying-
another layer of protection. I don't know what more to say to you.
That is inconsistent, is what I'm saying. Because they don't require.
Are you saying
anyone-
it's inconsistent for the insurance company that we have?
Yes.
Okay, again, I'm not the insurance
I
company,
get
I
that.
can't speak for them, but if you're not happy with our insurance company, we can certainly look for
We
another
are
insurance
looking
company.
to, yeah.
That's fine, but,
And that's not just because of this issue, that's because we want to.
but again, I have dealt with this many, many times, and insurance companies are going to require that we are named as additionally insured. And it's for a layer of protection. And Aaron, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to protect this community.
In my opinion, everybody is protected, and you're saying no. They're
Not without
So-
a
so pass it,
COI
and-
listing
and-
us.
And I will get that information, I do want them protected.
It has to legally, we have to have a COI on record that says the Village of North Baltimore is listed as additionally insured on any vendor that would work for us, work in this village in a festival.
Okay,
You have to.
all right.
Because if you don't, now, we've had this discussion in my other job. A vendor they could submit us a COI and the next day cancel our insurance. We can't control that. But when it comes lawsuit time, they're gonna sue us first. They're not gonna sue Johnny's French Fry Shop. So they're gonna come to us.
I'm sorry, who's going to sue the village?
Anyone, if
Yeah,
someone
third
gets
party. Third party.
Sure.
third
Third
party.
party.
Yeah.
They're always gonna sue us. They always start with a big fish. Well, our insurance company and legal representation is going to go, oh, you were poisoned by Johnny's French Fries. Great, you have a COI that listed you as additionally insured. what happens is our insurance company is gonna sue their insurance company, they're gonna work it out, they're gonna pay up to that dollar amount.
That's my whole point, right
Yeah,
there, thank you.
that's- yes.
We pay people to take care of that on our
Yeah,
behalf.
yeah,
What
it's
does-
not on
What
us.
does naming somebody on your insurance, that's what my concern, they're
Yeah.
already gonna work that out, you just said that.
No, not without, what would happen is, so my example, let's rewind. We get sued by Johnny's French Fries
Sure.
for poisoning someone at a festival.
Okay,
If we go, the first thing they're gonna do is attorneys and insurance company are gonna call Josh and say, give me the COI from that company that says they list us additionally insured.
Okay.
We didn't get it.
And,
Oh.
and whoever's hosting the event.
so then,
Right.
then you're
Those-
saying
those
that no
questions.
matter, you're saying that this is what I know, so you're saying that the investigation at that point stops? That's what you're
Again,
saying.
I'm not an insurance investigator, but we have nothing to stand on.
Yes, we do, is the other liabilities in my opinion, but I've asked these
Yeah.
questions to our insurance company,
Yeah.
and I have not gotten an answer, so, okay.
Yeah, COIs
proceed
cost
however you want to.
nothing
If it gets
for-
challenged, it gets challenged. I guess that's what I would say.
Yeah, COIs
But,
cost nothing.
just for the record, I do care about protecting the village of North Baltimore. I believe that, in my opinion, and I'll get this answer from I got an email into our insurance company waiting on the answer is, what does this actually do for us if everybody is covered? If everybody's covered, if the bar, if the club has insurance, and the village has insurance, and the festival organization has insurance, and the vendors has insurance, and if somebody's not covered, I would agree with you guys. I would agree with you 100%.
But we need that.
We need to have that extra protection.
Yeah, we need the
But if
legal
it's-
proof.
In my opinion,
With the
I'm
limits.
saying if that protection and liability is already there, why are we requiring more? That's my concern, right there. Why would
Why
we
are we
require more?
requiring more?
We're not requiring any more coverage, we're just required to be included on their coverage.
Right.
You just said it was an extra layer of protection.
Yes.
Yes, because
What
Yes.
am I
they're
missing
making
here?
us
Okay,
the
let's-
insur- So what they do, Aaron.
That's okay, I'll talk to the
What
insurance
they
company
do,
and I'll come
Aaron,
back.
let me finish, please. What they do, Aaron, is they go after this insurance company
I
at the
agree.
French fry stand
Yes,
first.
yes.
Then they go to
Yep.
the event holder
Yes.
and go to their insurance
I
company.
agree.
And then that is 2 layers of
I
protection
agree.
before it gets to us.
Disagree.
If you don't have that, we are on the hook for all of it.
Do you think that PEP, and here's my opinion, do you think PEP's just gonna pay it? Do you think they're not gonna go after they're gonna come in and do an investigation and say, wait a
If they're
minute?
if they're not naming us, it's gonna be very difficult to go after them.
Well, then okay, so I've asked the question to our insurance company
And
why
I did
that is,
too.
and they did not give me a good answer, so they put me in contact, I tried to get the answer.
Okay.
So, proceed. I would say proceed, that's my opinion on it, I think so you asked me what my problem is, I
I'm
just want to be
confident
clear.
that your insurance company is gonna come back and say, yes, you need that layer of protection, because they did to Josh and I. We asked that, and they
Yeah,
said,
you-
that's what we want, and our
Okay,
attorney said you want
excuse
that.
me. You asked me why I had some concerns with that, I explained why I had some concerns with it. I believe that if all parties involved have liability insurance, it's in my opinion that everybody's covered and everybody's protected. If that's wrong, right, I want the insurance company to tell me that, and which they have not given me that answer. When the representative was here, one of them that we talked to, you was in that meeting, correct?
Nick Lee?
Yeah, did I ask that question to that effect?
Yes,
And explain to him, and did he give us a good answer on why we have to name somebody in insurance?
it was an insurance answer, but I would say, he also said the underwriter here to discuss.
Right, and
Yeah,
underwriters.
and I need to talk to that individual, right?
Yes,
So
and
that's
maybe
what I've
Brad was the
done,
best
and that's
person.
what I've
And
reached out to
underwriters
him.
are the ones that gave us those answers back in September.
I did it.
And
Indeed.
I'm sure, I have the emails yet. You're more than welcome
I
to
have
read
some,
them if you
I have,
haven't read them.
I have some, thank you. I have some questions for our underwriters,
And that's
and
fine.
especially if we are getting charged $2,500 as a village per event, right? Because the village paid for that last year, and that nobody even asked a question. I've got some concerns about these things.
No, we did
We're
ask
doing this.
questions. We did, and like I said, you're welcome to the emails.
Thank you. Yeah.
But we did ask questions, and it took days, it took 10 days to get that insurance in place, because it was going through underwriting.
For the record, I want the village protected. So please don't suggest that I don't, because I certainly do.
And
I
that's
just
all
want to
this
make
is
sure that
doing.
we are not,
That's all this is doing.
I'm asking that we are not putting unreasonable burdens upon our businesses and anybody that does business in the village of North Baltimore, that's not necessary. And I want to make sure it's
Anybody in the village of North
necessary.
Baltimore that's not participating in this festival does not have to name us as additionally insured. Anybody in the village
festival?
that's not participating in this festival does not have to name us as additionally insured. I'm not sure if you're confused on that, but if they're not participating in the festival, they don't have something set up, they're not participating, then they don't have to name us as additionally insured.
Sure, so so anybody that participates in the festival, is that just for maybe an organization, like a Cub Scouts, or is it any business downtown, or?
Well, it would be
So
if
what
they're
about-
doing food, or if they're,
What if Mr. Bowers is selling something, does he have to name?
no, if he sets up in the craft area, no, unless it's food, then
Okay.
they're gonna have to have the insurance, liability insurance.
We had
And-
somebody sell baked goods there in the past, so that person would have to have the liability insurance, is what you're saying.
Well, most people do it, and they have to abide by the cottage laws. You know,
I
health
understand
department,
that, yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So
health
there's-
department inspections and all
Absolutely.
that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, but no, if you're just selling candles, no, you would not need that insurance.
Okay, so,
But what if the person is selling food inside their store, like candy, say? Candy.
They're covered under their insurance, then
That's
inside their
What if
store.
they don't have it? Okay. All right. That's what I just.
there's where I'm confused right there, there's where I'm confused. If their insurance covers them there, how does our insurance
not
not cover us out here?
participating in the
That's
festival.
okay, I get it, Dee, that's fine.
So
That's
we
fine.
haven't been covered for the last 45 years of.
Yes, you have, because the chamber carried insurance, liability insurance. The chamber covered it. Last
Yes,
September.
I'm sorry, did they name the village on their insurance? I don't believe they did, Dee.
Well, I
Because it
can't
wasn't
answer that, and I don't
required.
think you can either.
Yeah, I
It's
can't.
in the paperwork,
No,
so I don't know
and
that.
I appreciate
But
that.
I certainly would hope that the previous council and administrator would have done that. But even if they didn't, that was risky. And now that, what we're discussing is, why would we want to do something risky? Why would we want to carry the burden of a lawsuit if it ever happened?
I'm not saying that we do. Please don't, in your opinion, you guys are saying that is exactly what you're doing by not naming them. If that's what an insurance agent tells us after I ask my questions, I won't disagree with you.
Okay.
Right?
And I'm
I certainly
confident
want,
we will.
I certainly want, well, my concern was I couldn't get that answer. right?
Because
So-
he wasn't underwriting.
And that's okay,
And
I
I'm sure he
understand
wanted
that.
underwriting to answer that question.
I understand that, Dee, so I'm very, and I've reached out. So, if that person comes back after we have our discussion, and then I don't have an issue with it. I'm still concerned about the emergency clause. I don't believe that there's a real emergency. There's no real emergency. So I think what we need to do is define the emergency. So if you pass it as an emergency,
It's for the safety of our village, because we are holding a festival in June, and if we wait not to pass this as an emergency, we can't do anything until like April. And by that time, we won't be able to secure our vendors. And so and the emergency is for safety reasons.
Okay.
Because if we can't put this in the contract that we're signing with them, then we can't go adding it afterwards.
sure,
And so it's for the safety of our village.
okay.
We can't, so the contract that we give them are we basically just saying our vet policy is our contract?
Yes.
That's what we're
We
saying?
didn't have a policy like this before?
No.
So we just had the.
Yeah, this is what was filled out. This was what took care of us all these years.
And we have to supply them with what that is at the time as well. They have to know what they're agreeing to.
Right, right. And we wouldn't be waiting till April, we'd only wait till March.
Yes.
March 13th.
Well, no, March, but if I don't get this secured within the next week or so, we're not gonna be able to get them. They're already calling me saying, have we got a date, have we got, can we get the paperwork done? So we're not gonna be able, because
So-
they're getting calls for those same dates, and we're not gonna be able to secure the vendors.
All right, so I don't have a bunch of heartburn the way you guys are proposing, but I do have some heartburn, and we don't have to go into it tonight. I would like to sit down and talk to everybody about the policy, the events policy, maybe in the future, even though you guys are, well, I've got my initiative petition is put in, so, but I think we need to tweak it. I think there's some things in there, and we don't need to hash them out tonight. So,
I do have some questions, because
Absolutely.
I'm new, I'm brand new to it,
Yep.
so I wasn't involved
No,
in any
you're
of
fine,
it.
ask away.
Boy Scouts, Wood County Jamboree, 2 years ago, held a camp out here where the entire county camped here. So they would need an insurance policy now to
Yeah,
cover
like I already
that
spoke
at the
to our Boy
park?
Scouts here, and the Legion carries their insurance policy,
Correct.
and they're gonna name us as additional insured.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out, why was the number 50 picked?
Just because it was a small group. I didn't pick that number. I think Josh, when you, it was just a,
it was just a unilateral pick.
yeah.
I wouldn't say there's a great reason behind 50, it was just seemed like that was a good amount for this, and we can obviously change that,
But you can't after a day, we have to
Right,
revisit it.
and I'm just
it's.
asking questions.
Right.
Sure.
Be
We were
brought
just,
up to
just
speed.
a small group, like, if people had a graduation party on there, and they had people there, and
And you
that's
said
not-
the park wasn't covered, but I didn't see that anywhere in here, that if I had a graduation party at the park, the
No,
park
it's if you
didn't.
close the park down, I believe that's.
Yeah,
how
it's not
gonna
like
be.
if you
Is
run
that
a
what it
shelter,
says?
that's not.
But does it say that here anywhere?
I
Because
believe
that's what
it
I'm
does. Does it,
missing.
Josh, did you put close the park? I thought I read that in there.
I may have
might be
missed it.
mistaken. Because I thought it said closing a park.
I tried to read it over 3 or 4 times. I didn't see it, but
What area is that discussed in?
Non-commercial gathering hosted by individuals.
Where does it even say anything about?
Where did you get the 2 million? Figure that out.
Well, the park is village property, right?
2 million
So
and 1
it
million.
doesn't matter if
It
it's
was given anybody.
Main Street, the park,
right, so
the
if I
front
had.
yard
Right,
of the
but I thought it
building.
said if it was.
Number
If I had
two,
a
the event,
reservation
the
party
event
of 50
only, if you
people
look at
at the
number
park.
2, that's where it says
I
the
have
park
to-
on it. Yeah, it says the right away.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Bauer.
Where at?
Number 2, scope.
Right.
Right, there you go, park.
Closes any public
just spoke
street,
up loud.
sidewalk, or park. or
Park right away
So
was-
it's closed.
Eagle Eyes.
Close
Number
it.
2, so
Close.
closed.
That's not renting a shelter.
I don't have the paper.
And they sign a sheet when they rent a shelter also, I believe.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
that's,
come up and-
that's
Yes.
a liability thing too, so.
And the only thing I saw on the permit itself, we probably should have added anticipated participants. How many people are gonna be there? It's easier for the police, the fire to determine how many police they need on duty, how many extra firemen, what we have to do for EMS, that way.
And I'm not opposed to adding that on there.
Did you have something to say?
Yeah, I was just gonna add something.
Go ahead.
On that number 2, it says, public or private event that uses or closes any
That
public
uses
street.
or closes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Uses.
Well, we can we strike the word uses? That's-
Not
or-
adopt.
I would have to
this
do
tonight.
it wouldn't be.
We'd have to come back.
It would be more than just that change, if I could
Okay.
do that.
And I mean, I'm not opposed to amending that at a later date as far as, if it's confusing. We're not trying to restrict people that are using shelter houses at all. It was if they closed the park down and used it for, a private event or even a public event, then they would definitely need to have, and having more than 100 people there.
So what does that number, there's what some of my concern is, how does that number, like the 50 or whatever, that you don't have to, if Cotterman's shut down the road, if they shut down the road and they're using public property, and they've got 40 people over there, they're not required to carry.
But they would if it's, because it says if alcohol occurs, right?
So
At a
there's-
sale.
Alcohol
No
sales.
sales.
There's no sales, they're just you, so if they're over there having a party, they're not required to hold $2 million worth of liability. But how are they any more, how is the village not as liable as anybody that would be using the facilities uptown, or if there was 100 people somewhere else? You see what I'm saying? How does the liability change depending on the numbers? So we're saying, if you fall into this category of 50 people or less, or 49 people or less, you don't have to carry this liability, even though there might still be a liability there, right? If 1 second, Adrian, but if you have 100 people, now you have to carry $2 million worth of liability.
There's more than just that. There's way more criteria.
So
if they're closing a street down,
yeah,
then not to exceed 50 and does not require street closure.
I'm asking if the street is closed in this event, they come up and ask for, the street's gonna be closed.
If the street's closed, you need liability insurance unless, I believe, council waives.
There's some of the concern right there.
I don't think it's council, I think it was administrative.
Administrator or mayor, I believe.
Yeah. So
Where I think it should be council.
In most cases, it is.
I think in order to make sure that we have a successful 250th birthday, I think we should move forward with this, but I think we really need to get together as a group and really tweak this. Or at least take a look at it.
Well, hearing that, would it be a good idea?
Because
We still have to vote on the emergency, obviously, but if that were to fail, then we could table this third reading, and then...
I would ask that we pass it as an emergency to take care, to make sure that the 250th celebration is not hindered, but I would strongly suggest we sit down and take a look at this, because I've got some real concerns. Please, Mr. Bozak.
Okay, this is our contract, right? What we've done in the past is this application.
This one right here,
Right.
Mr. Bozak.
What would we have to do to change that to add the insurance policy?
Basically what we're doing right here.
Yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
But we have to do this through legislation,
Yeah,
we
we
just
have.
can't add it to
Yes,
the form.
yes,
Okay.
yes, sir, it has to be
That's-
legislation. Good question.
That is a policy in place.
Just want to make sure.
Very good question.
I'm okay with tweaking. I mean, we've been tweaking for about 5 months now. I'll keep tweaking away.
Yeah, I agree with the mayor, we need to get this in place for the festival so we can secure vendors.
Yep.
Part of your question for the insurance department, when you talk to them, is I am concerned, and I know Tim has brought this up in the past too, I want to understand how this permit, insurance on that, is applicable to parades. So I think we all agree that if the school is having a homecoming parade, there's going to be more than 50 people there, and we're not requiring for a parade for them to have, $2 million worth.
With that being said, Mr. Sweat, can you not see how it seems to me like we're just pointing out that all we're gonna do is whenever we have a festival downtown that a lot of effort goes into, they're the only ones that are gonna be required to carry this liability. Everybody else isn't gonna have to. There's where I'm concerned. Right there is what that seems to be telling me. And maybe I'm reading it wrong, because I'm not sure that I am.
No, because there's no food or alcohol served in a parade, so that's why I think parades are different.
Does the school carry the liability insurance
Probably.
that would name the village? And I'm guessing they would.
I almost guarantee you it's more than 2 million.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I just think that we need to spend more time having
Yeah.
discussion on this, but passing it tonight as an emergency, if you would please, so that we can protect the interest of the 250 celebration. With the agreement that we'll sit down and
We have a motion on the floor.
Yeah.
the motion.
I made the motion.
Was there a second?
I second it.
Vote when ready.
Mr. Engard?
Yes.
Mr. Bozak?
Yes.
Mr. Swett?
Yes.
Ms. Beaupre?
Yes.
Ms. Hefner?
Yes.
And Mr. Richmond?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If there's nothing else,
I make a motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn, please.
Second.
Vote when ready, please.
Mr. Bozak?
Yes.
Mr. Swett?
Yes.
Ms. Beaupre?
Yes.
Ms. Hefner? Mr. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Engard?
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time.